What's going on, guys? This is the Cloud9 podcast, season 3, episode 6. Woo! Shit. We had a insane week for League of Legends, and I literally need to actually start fucking getting my league prep done. I might end up having to move the show again, maybe to Wednesday, but I really don't know at the moment right now. Thursday is just literally the best day that I can, get for the show, because we have been watching new movies that come out on Thursday, and I've been doing the reviews the same night. It literally only takes me about an hour to settle my thoughts on a movie. Today I am watching Morbius after I get done with the show. So the show tonight is only going to be like an hour and some change, hour and 30 minutes. After that, I'm going to go.
I've seen it.
Best movie of the year?
It's probably going to make our worst of the year. Because we know not many people in this community watch films, but they all watch the superhero films or whatever.
This is called a super villain film.
So any superhero or just any like DC, Sony, MCU film, that's a 1 out of 10 that everybody watches. It's gonna make that probably. And yeah, this is a 1 out of 10. So have fun with that.
Hey, I believe in Sony. Venom was a great movie. Venom 2 was a masterpiece, and this movie, I'm just hoping it's just good, Now, I just bullshitting what the fuck I just said there. Venom 1 was fucking terrible.
Just watch the fucking bootleg of it on F2 movies. You're not missing anything.
I can't do it, dude. Like, I can't really watch those cam version movies. Them shits is trash.
I watched it with like the Saudi Arabia subtitles and shit.
Sean, you're a heathen. You're going to hell. Holy shit.
Well, it actually had it was like in Saudi Arabia, and it had Saudi Arabian ads on it.
You are disgusting. You are a disgusting human being. That is just filthy audio that I'm not ever hearing.
And the film quality of it was no different than if I saw it in theaters.
No different. Holy shit.
Because it's that bad.
Hey, I'll say this. You know me. I gotta go support my local movie theater, otherwise we won't have
do
theaters.
That with stuff like X.
No, I could go support it with
you can
The Lost City.
Fuck off.
The Lost City is fucking fire.
Like don't you have that one film, The Outfit, or whatever it's called?
Do we? I don't know. Let me grab my phone.
It's supposed to be like a thriller or whatever.
Let me put my phone on the charger when we're doing a show. All right. So, as you guys know, the LCS 2022 Spring Split regular season is over, and the LEC 2022 Spring Split playoffs ended up kicking off this past week. And I'll tell you guys this right now. I am very disappointed in Cloud9's performance.
Yeah, but I expected it when they said they went like 0-20 in scrims before the week.
Oh, shit. Okay, so factor this in. Like, when people, like yesterday, when Perks tweeted, I just got turbo fisted by Rogue in scrims. On some level, you have to kind of think he's telling the truth, but on some levels, is he like joking? Because I don't really know, honestly. He's
probably like telling the truth, but he's like, how do I say? Probably just means like, yeah, they lost convincingly, but it's not like doom or gloom to him. Like, they're beatable. He got
fisted, and that's not doom and gloom, Sean. Are you out of your mind?
No, that's just probably someone to joke. That he probably means they lost convincingly in scrims, like 23 kills to like 5 kills or something like that, like an 11K gold league. But that happens to old teams against whoever. So yeah, in that one game, yeah, and then they says fisted, and he's like acting it's all doom and gloom, but I think
that is doom and gloom.
Yeah, but it's one scrim game though. In his mind, Perks, he's just like, I'll laugh it off. I still think they're beatable. We'll win the split. That's Perks.
So yeah, guys, that's just what we've been doing on the channel. Actually, I've been really busy lately. But as you guys know, you get your Cloud9 podcast every single week. You guys get it on time when Sean shows up on time, and Sean's usually been late.
Shut the fuck up. I'm almost always on time.
Now he won't be getting his bonus pay. I said if you showed up on time today, you get your bonus pay. Now he's not getting his bonus pay.
Bitch. I'm like an immigrant worker. Fuck off. I know this is what happens, all right, guys. So 99% of the time, MSK sets a time to do like a stream or a review. I show up and I'm there waiting for him like 97% of the time on time, and then like 99% of those times he's like an hour late. And then like the 3% of the time where then something pops up and I have to do something real quick for 30 minutes, that's when he shows up on time. So then he's waiting 30 minutes. Then there's like 1% of the time where we're actually both on time.
Shit, dude, I gotta get my life in order. Wait, dude, I got a banger fucking April Fool's video coming tomorrow. It's an absolute banger. You won't want to miss it, guys. But as you guys know, you guys get your podcast every single week. I'll have to probably do a poll, honestly, if you guys want to have the show on Wednesday or Thursday. The reason why I traditionally moved the show away from Wednesday was because like there's just too much stuff going on. Like Monday and Tuesday, I use those days to stream and do all my other content. Wednesday, I kind of like to take a break generally. So Wednesday is usually my break day. That's why you don't really see me stream Wednesday unless it's like now currently the Halo watch parties that we do. And Halo is it's a something. I'll tell you that right now. It's a piece of work, but I'm getting through it. Someone said, do you like it? It's not really about do I like it. I want to make sure I have a diverse portfolio of content that I've reviewed on the channel. I don't want to be just some like one trick pony who only reviews like superhero shit, because I've never ever been that guy anyway. Yes, I love superhero shit. I love superhero movies, but I like other shit too. So I want to make sure when I'm reviewing TV shows, movies, and anime, I want to make sure that portfolio is severely diverse. So just in case, you're not really feeling like superhero movies, you go watch one of my like anime reviews or some shit, But as you know, we are going to be giving out our awards for the LEC 2022 Spring Split All Pro Team, right? So I have my list over here. And I'm sorry this wasn't last week because I wanted more time to get my thoughts together. But I think I got together a pretty good list of players. So we got all pro teams, MIP, MVP for the LEC 2022 Spring Split regular season. Guys, this is a regular season award. It has nothing to do with playoffs. Nothing to do with playoffs at all. And I have them for the LCS too, because the reason why I have to have them for the LCS is because the LCS playoffs kick off this week for the 2022 Spring Split. So let me bring up my list right now. Fujin might be a 07 Renekton. Oh, he's gonna get, dude. Vitality are fucking garbage, man. Like the fact that they beat. I was so close to predicting XL. I was so close to predicting XL to beat Vitality. And XL just somehow lose their brains halfway through the
I knew XL would look better and they would be more coordinated, but I knew Vitality would win in the end.
You got so lucky, you piece of shit. That was luck.
Get lucky. No, I did not get lucky because that's every Perks team. They play worse, but they somehow play it through.
They didn't really play better. Win. They played slightly better than less dog shit that they looked in the Spring Split regular season. They played a tiny bit better. Do you see that?
I knew they would play shit. All right, I knew they would play like shit.
Did you see that Lebrov hook? Did you see that Lebrov hook game 1 against XL when he leaped into the fucking turret?
Best fucking support. Stop.
This man literally is a turbo Nautilus player, perma stuck on Nautilus, and still manages to throw games. I want to show you guys that shit.
He's the LEC version of Stunt.
Okay, Stunt was good for like one split.
He was not good for that one split. What are you talking about?
It was good. Oh my goodness.
He was like mediocre. He like picked Nautilus for like fucking 12 games in a row.
Okay, if you don't have,
it was like Ben went on fucking Africa, just played Nautilus.
To be fair, you got to get it how you live it, man. If Nautilus is the only way you can win games,
Yeah, that's me in solo queue. I just play Nautilus when I'm on support because it's easy. It's so easy.
I actually like Nautilus.
Yeah,
Like,
because it's so
honestly, I like
fucking easy. It's
no,
fucking baby
no,
mode.
Nautilus takes skill. Press Alt. You press R. You win.
No,
Well,
it's so easy to fucking hook players with
okay,
Nautilus.
Nautilus's hook is 10 times more brain dead than Thresh's hook. Thresh's hooks are more harder to land.
And Gangplank is way more brain dead somehow.
Holy shit.
Sorry, not brain dead. I mean smarter somehow. Sorry, than fucking Nautilus is.
Well, so this was my thing with the LEC 2022 Spring Split playoff games is the fact that like going in, I knew Misfits weren't gonna be that good. Like I knew going in, Misfits were not gonna be that good because like a lot of their wins came from a lot of teams throwing, and I was like, Rogue are just gonna beat the shit out of them. Which happened. And I got the prediction right too. 3-1. I was like, yeah, it's gonna be 3-1.
Okay, listen, I knew Rogue was probably gonna win. That was just my wild card prediction.
That's not a probably. Yeah, like 10 times better. What are you talking about?
I like to do the odd wild card prediction to spice things up, and that was
out?
That was my one.
If you had predicted Rogue, you'd have got all three right. Just saying.
Hey, I knew that Rogue would probably win, though. I will say
I knew that Rogue would probably win. Yet I'm gonna pick Misfits. You piece of shit.
But because I don't care about the predictions. We're not counting points like the casters, which is just whatever. If we were, then I would predict Rogue. Like I thought it would be 3-2, though, honestly. But
for me,
honestly, to be fair, while Misfits is a bit overrated, obviously, to be third place in the season, like they really worked themselves so in like the first two games, and the last two games they finally pulled it together, but then Rogue was just better in the fourth.
I just never really thought they were like honestly that good. Like outside of like VTO and Neon, they really weren't like that good, honestly. A lot of their wins, if you guys go back and watch a lot of the regular spring split from this past regular season for spring for the LEC, a lot of their wins were literally like because teams threw. And I was like, Rogue are just gonna beat the shit out of them. I was like, people were like, yeah, dude, Misfits, they got the underdog story going. I'm like, are you a crackhead? Like, what the fuck are we looking at? We're gonna beat the shit out of them. And they did. So I was like, okay. And one of the things I noticed about the Misfits best of 5 against Rogue was that you saw the inexperience really, really play up. Because last year when Misfits started kind of doing well in the playoffs for the LEC 2021 summer split, it was the fact that they actually had more veteran players helping out VTO and Hear It and Razork stay afloat. This split, Misfits don't have that. You don't have Razork. You have Mursa, rookie. You have Neon, who hasn't really been in too many playoff situations. He was with Schalke last year, but he wasn't the guy that was like super hard carrying Schalke last year in spring. Then you have Hear It and Schlachtdun's synergy is just like really, really off for some reason. They just leave Hear It on an island for the most part. So I was thinking like VTO really can't carry them. Like in best of ones, it's really good to look as decent as they did when a lot of teams into you and they throw a lot of their big leads. But in a best of 5, they're just going to get exploited because that's only going to happen literally in one game. And then the other better team are just going to figure you out. And then they're just going to stop you 3 games in a row. And then watching the first 2 games, just watching the way Malrong popped off. And a lot of people still had the nerve to say Malrong was overrated in his last few weeks of the fucking LEC 2022 spring split regular season. I was sitting there going like, how is he overrated if he has a few bad games? Guys, whoever MVP candidate you actually have, they're gonna have some bad games at some point. For me, when it comes to like all pro teams, it doesn't really matter. For me, I have like a limit. You have to. I'll say this: to be an MVP, you can't have anything more than like at least 3 bad games. Because most MVP players are like consistently good from like week 1 all the way up to the very end, and I just was looking at the G2 and Fnatic best of 5 and just basically going like, okay, yeah, G2 are looking pretty bad right now. Even the one game that they won when they played Karma mid, because like if you have to put fucking caps on Karma mid, right? You're sitting here going like, what the fuck is going on? Like Caps on Karma mid? So they're going, what the hell? You know, like Caps being on Karma mid is ridiculous, you know, because Caps used to be a player that could just take over the entire game, you know, and to see him be on like Karma mid was just ridiculous. And then you got to see the inexperience of the brand new G2 bot lane, Flacked and Targamas. You know, it looked like they were like somewhat decently struggling, you know, in the high pressure playoff situation that they were in. What's up, Professor Dark? How you doing, man? Hewitt should have retired. I hope not. I hope not. Because I don't think Hewitt's a bad player. I just think that, you know, Misfits don't really know how to utilize Hewitt correctly. That's just my opinion.
that was the main issue. They didn't know how to use him properly, and also I even though I thought he was like the best top last seasons, I knew teams would like punish a lot of things about him in the next split, and that happened. And that's usually what kind of happens with a lot of Korean imports in LEC though. They're like one of the best one seasons, and then teams start to kind of figure them out a bit. Like they kind of started to at the end with Malrain, honestly. So
Like one of the biggest things like I saw in the G2 Fnatic best of 5 was just I don't know, their inability to really make anything happen, you know? Like there's only so much Jankos can do. And I thought Jankos played pretty well throughout the regular season. I thought Jankos played good overall. He had a few bad games here or there, but I thought he was super solid, super polished jungler. He's been in the LEC for a very long time, you know? And the big thing about G2 is if Broken Blade doesn't really get a lane advantage and Jankos doesn't really get Broken Blade ahead, then it's really hard for them to play the game because Flacked and Targamas, they just look like they were just content with just going even in lane and then maybe being good in team fights. But you need Caps to really, really pop off in G2 if G2 want to ever contend for a title, because this is the player, this is the mid laner you are investing into. So you need this player to be playing at basically 100% all the time, essentially, you know, because Broken Blade, I think, is a solid, good top laner. Jankos, solid, good jungler. You have Caps, who should be a really good, solid playmaking mid laner. And they have a solid bot lane, you know? I don't think their loss against Fnatic was all the bot lane's fault, like a lot of people made out. I think it was just the inability for Caps to carry a game literally at all, you know? But that's just me. What did you think about the G2 and Fnatic best of 5, actually? Even though Fnatic won.
well, it went exactly as I kind of predicted. A lot of people are like, "Oh, this is gonna be a close back and forth 5-game series," just because they read G2 and Fnatic. But no, I mean, some of the games would be close, some of them would be stomps. In the end, though, G2 will show their inexperience, and Cap showing his fucking shit in the bed. And then
Game
Fnatic
4
will
was close.
fail
Game
in
4 was
4
close.
games.
I'll say this. Game 4 was close, actually.
Yeah, but
So,
yeah, and
but
then whatever, and then yeah, they obviously
yeah,
Fnatic with their experience, they would prevail. Like as I
yeah.
said, if even though again, I still don't think I'm wrong. G2 has the highest ceiling, and oh yeah, Rebecca A, remember that bet?
Bet what bet? What, I didn't lose anything. G2 won in G2 won in my heart. That's what.
Shut up.
That's how
But
that wins.
anyway,
Here,
as I said,
before I take off my clothes, I will praise Fnatic today. Where's my Fnatic?
okay, but listen, what was I? Okay.
Fnatic is the best team in the LEC, guys.
They still have the highest ceiling. It's just whether they're going to reach
My
it or
hands are
not is
bigger.
a question mark. But I've said that, as I said before, though, if they're going to go on a run to first place, it's going to be through the losers bracket
I can't
from
hear. I'm gonna
from
say this
here
right
on
now.
out.
Rogue are gonna beat the shit out of Fnatic in their best of 5 this week. They're gonna get their fucking shit caved in. But
I
I
mean,
promised. I lost a bet, everyone. So I gotta take off my shirt for like
they're
about
really going to need that
10
bot
minutes.
lane. They're really going to need that bot lane too. Oh fuck! I'll take off your fucking belt. What are you doing? What the fuck are you? I'm just kidding. No. Okay, well. Why did you have to make this bet, Rebecca? Holy. Oh, wait, actually, you didn't tell him to do this. He told himself he wanted to do this. You were just like, sure. He wanted to do this. You're muted, dumb fuck.
G2 broke my heart. G2, how could you do this to me? They broke my heart.
Yeah. I see some fucking Black Noon man outside the LCS studio right now. Holy fuck. That's gonna be my next tweet.
Well, I got 10 minutes of shame for G2. That's what G2 just did to me. Oh, Lord. Well, you know what really works out, dude? My nipples are like tender for some reason.
Holy fuck. Just stop.
Just holy shit.
Oh my. Why, by the way, why did Caps change his fucking name to just like lowercase and an uppercase P? That's very
because he's edgy, dude. He wants to be edgy.
Distracted. Fuck off, Caps.
Because he wants to be edgy, dude. God damn. Holy fuck. Oh, Lord. Well, before we get to our all-pro teams, XL versus Vitality. Vitality are so lucky they have perks, actually. They are so lucky they had perks, because if they had any other mid laner, they would have gotten knocked out by XL. And the thing with XL was the problem that you saw their inexperience coming into fruition as well. Not like Nuke Duck or Mickey X, you know. I think it was just more along the aspects of Finn not really... Shu looking... I gotta look on Shu? Oh, shit. Well, fuck me. Well, Westcott, fuck you. Oh my goodness, this is disgusting. I said I will lick the one part of my slipper. I did say that. Jesus Christ, it's disgusting. Oh Lord, that's disgusting.
I'm just gonna record that now.
It's disgusting. Fucking hell, G2. Holy shit, Westcott, fuck you, you piece of shit. How did you remind me of that? Oh my god. Ugh, fuck. Okay.
Also, did somebody just record like the 2-second clip of him just like shirtless and licking the tip of the shoe and then go ugh with no context and have that as the next clip? Just do that.
This is what happens when I bet on G2. This is what happens. See, this wouldn't have happened if I bet on Fnatic like my gut told me.
Yeah, well, see, I lost this bet as well, but I'm waiting to I'm delaying my 1 week start of praising the Dark Knight because Will Smith might get his Oscar removed. So I don't know what to do now. How does this bet work now? Should I just praise like the Dark Knight instead of the trilogy, or like?
Well, I got guys. If you guys are watching this live, I have 8 more minutes of this. I told Rebecca that if G2 lost, I take off my clothes and I would stay this way for 10 minutes and I'd lick the bottom of my slipper. So, yep. That would be the thing. Oh, Lord. Yeah, Professor Dark, I lost a bet. Because my team fucking sucks. Well, at least in Europe, they suck. But yeah, back to XL. They basically... Okay, here's what I thought throughout the series. They could have actually beaten Vitality. They just kept... I think they thought they were better than they actually were. They kept doing, like, dives that weren't really gonna happen. Alfari was... How would you say it? Like, I thought Finn actually played well. I thought Finn played well. Overall, I thought Finn played pretty well against Alfari. Like, he looked really good on Aurelia. He looked pretty good throughout the series. And then he started falling off toward the end of the best of 5, actually. And I was thinking to myself, like, okay, these guys have ran out of steam. They came in really prepared. They thought, Vitality was going to be able to just roll over if, they just kept beating them the way they were. But Vitality showed resilience and they bounced back. I mean, Perks in his 1-2 comfort zone, they come back and they win. Now, I'm still going to say this. Carzzy and Lebrov are still fucking terrible. Like, what did you think about Vitality? Did you think anything different surrounding Carzzy and Lebrov? I still thought they fucking sucked.
Nope.
Lebrov still sucks.
Carzzy is the most overrated LEC player next to Whippo. And Lebrov, I knew he wasn't like a top support or anything, but I thought he would at least be okay this
No,
split. But I
no.
guess
Did you
not.
see that little bro? Did you see that hook he did in
Mhm.
game one? I was choking up at my job. He did that, and then the chat was just flaming him. They were like LeBrov int, int Brov, and
Yeah,
I was just choking up my fucking water when he did that, just laughing my ass off. Holy shit! Oh my goodness.
honestly, just get Vander at this point.
Rebecca Fnatic aren't winning no split because that's what Rogue is
Well,
for.
their experience might prevail.
No, no. Larson has lost in these big pressure situations before, and now it's time for Larson to win, actually. Holy
No,
shit.
no, because the players I wanted to see win the most were Hansama and Inspired, and then Otawamne and Larson, and they didn't win it, so now they can go fuck themselves.
I still want Otawamne to win his first title after all these many
Like,
years.
I wish they just won in spring and then Mad Lions won in summer. I
Rogue
wish.
easily could have won both splits last year. They screwed themselves over. They should at least, they could be right now contending for their
Rogue did
third
not
title.
look that good in the summer. What are you talking about?
Okay, if they had like kept their form up, they could be contending for at least. It's hard to say. If they had actually kept their spring form up and potentially had won both titles last year, they'd be contending for their third title. But no, they wanted to just choke their asses off and just lose. What's up, Alexander? How you doing, man? Fnatic will soon feel the wrath of the Ginger God. Holy shit. Oh my goodness. No. G2 are going to win against Vitality. I'm not, because if I bet on G2 again, I'll have to be actually naked on stream. You guys would see something that, because if I'm actually naked on stream, a lot of girls be hitting me up. After this, a lot of girls be hitting me up anyway. So I can't have that. G2, you better not lose against Vitality. You know how disgusting that is to have Perks leave G2.
Okay, why did Genax change his fucking name to JNX uppercase? What the fuck is wrong with you, man? Yeah, he was so shit he changed his fucking name.
They probably think it wasn't going to be him, actually. That's what they probably think.
Oh
shit.
My god. Yeah, they're gonna do a good disguise. It's like what fucking Jason's name to Armeo.
Oh,
it's like he's under the radar, boy, baby. Here we go. Yeah, I mean, it helped. Honestly, the name Chase helped in there because his fucking Greg name was tainted for life. I think played.
I think that the only two winners right now for the LEC, okay, guys, if I'm being truly unbiased, if I'm being unbiased as hell, I'll say this right now. The only real two contenders right now to win the LEC 2022 spring split is essentially just Rogue and Fnatic. Honestly, I really do like G2. I really do, but they don't look that good. Honestly, like they got fourth in the LEC 2022 spring split regular season for a reason. Like they threw away a lot of leads, and then there was a lot of games they got put far behind because Caps and Yankos' synergy was just all over the place. Like Team Vitality, I think that they have I don't think they have a chance at all. I just don't think they're that good. I think G2 are going to beat Vitality. That's going to be all she wrote, and Vitality's going to be done. And Misfits is just basically a free win. Like, how was Misfits not a free win? Like, Misfits definitely should be a free win. So any team that faces Misfits gets a free win. And I think G2 will knock out Vitality. And I think Fnatic are going to lose to Rogue this coming up. But, all right, let me give you guys my all-pro team for the LEC. All right, so here is my LEC 2022 spring split all-pro teams, MIP, and MVP. Remember, this is just for the regular season. This is not for playoffs because these awards only count for, the regular season. So the third team, I have Wonder, Syncroft, Perks, Patrick, and Targamas. Second team, I have Broken Blade, Yankos, Larson, Upset, and Trimby. First team, I have Otawamne, Malrong, Vithio, Comp, and Hillisang. The MIP, most improved player, is Vithio. MVP is also Vithio. Sean, are you there? You fucking piece of shit.
Yeah, so
what's your all-pro teams?
Honestly, I'll be honest. I thought we were doing the LCS ones today, so I'm in the middle of doing the LEC one right now.
Okay, so this guy comes sorely unprepared. Okay, so we'll just flip that. So we'll just get Sean's next week. Holy shit! But yeah,
no. I'll try to do it in the middle of like the stream. Like
in
I'll
the
try
middle
to
of
do
the
at least.
stream, you
No,
unprepared fuck.
Listen, I'll at least tell you the top 3 of each role.
Okay.
And
Don't tell me the teams. Just tell who's going to be your MVP or an MIP player.
My MVP. Well, it was between Hillesane and VTO. I decided to.
You biased piece of shit.
Go with VTO
for your MVP for the regular season. So
and then most improved player, because I'm not an idiot and realized VTO wasn't that bad last year. I'm not gonna say him.
This man's capping. This VTO was such a liability last year. You're
shut the fuck up. You
dude. You and your fucking French love.
Baked. If you think
10 minutes left. I have to put on clothes now. Sorry for anyone that's gonna want the free show.
Fuck off. This is like when that girl walked in your fucking house.
That never happened. This man's speaking blasphemy.
So my most improved is probably it would have to be either Wonder or Comp. I'll go with Comp. So yeah, Comp's my most improved. And then I'll try to tell you my top 3 right here. So for top laners, it's Odo Omne, Broken Blade, and then you'll have to wait on the third because honestly, I don't know because the top lane pool is so just bad.
The top lane pool is so bad, dude.
And then junglers, it's first team Mal. Okay, so I'm just saying going from first to third instead of third to first like MSK did it. So then it's Malrain, Yankos, and Elyoya. And then mid laner, it's VTO, Perks, and Humanoid. Also, I'll like screen when I'm finished it. I'll just share like the rank, like all 10 in each role ranked. But anyway, then for ADC, it's Upset, Patrick, and Comp. And then for support, it's Hillesane. Hillesane, Trimby, and Target Moss.
Yeah, we have the same 3 supports. I don't know why you don't give enough love to Larson, dude. He played amazing in this race.
No. Well, I don't think he played as amazing as he said, and also the team around him. Honestly,
he was like much better than Humanoid did.
I thought Larson was one of the weaker parts of Rogue. Like honestly, I thought
Humanoid was running it down in some of them games, man.
I thought Comp played better. I thought Trimby played better. I thought Malrain played better. I thought Odo Omne played better.
Why do you hate white people, dude? What's wrong with you?
Humanoid had less to work with, and I think they played kind of the same.
Larson his ass off.
Larson was one of the weakest parts of Rogue, in my opinion, and he didn't look as strong as last year. Honestly, Larson would be my 4th though. Like honestly, I could do like with Larson 3rd, Humanoid 4th. Like honestly, they're about.
I'm just fucking with you. You pick what you want, dude.
No. I know. I'm not listening to you, bitch. I'm picking who I want. I'm just saying I could pick.
Fuck out of here.
Because I'm just saying it wouldn't matter because they're literally like the same to me right here. A lot of these are kind of close, but then Caps is Caps is a super generous 5th, just because it's those top 5 and then a bunch of shit.
It's a bunch of shit.
Yeah, so he's like automatically 5th. He's automatically 5th, I guess. So. And then like Nuclear Int would be like 6, and then
Nuke Duck out of here.
Nuke Duck 7th.
Is
8.
I hate this man, Sean.
You want to know who's 9th?
I said all pro teams, not ranking the mid laners.
No. I know. I'm just saying you were really you found that Larson not being there to be controversial. So I'm just saying what my thing is there. So you realize it's not that bad. It's not that bad actually.
The fact that the LEC mid laners suck so bad that Caps gets to be 5th is ridiculous.
Yeah. Well, that's going to be the case with fucking the mid laners in LCS when we do them.
It's going to be a fucking clown fiesta. Holy shit.
Honestly, it's getting to the point where I'm actually just thinking about putting a Blaze Olive first.
No. Takuli plays so much better than Eden. At
Are
least
you
give it
sure?
to the
Takuli
yes.
had many off games, and he got stomped by players like Fudge.
Okay. Okay, by luck, that doesn't count, and he has
Wait,
10
both
times better
games?
player.
What are you talking about by luck? He's just like, yes, he's the most valuable player to his the most valuable mid laner
If
of the
Takuli
season.
is not first, that means I know you hate
No,
French people.
Takuli is the most valuable player to his team out of all the mid laners, but he's not the best. I'm sorry, he wasn't dominant.
What is wrong with there was dominant in LCS, Sean?
Not in every game.
Fucking sucks.
In like half of the games, yeah. In like
Jesus
10
Christ.
of them,
you are gonna give me a heart attack. Holy fuck.
Sorry. Like he got stopped by fucking Fudge and like fucking
Fudge got lucky because he was playing Ari.
And fucking what do you mean? That he played LeBlanc, you dumbass, and he got stomped by him. And
oh my goodness.
And he got stomped by Power of Evil.
Fudge got stomped this week by Takuli. What are you talking about?
What do you mean? Fudge played better. Are you fucking high?
Halfway.
Holy fuck.
Okay. So, yeah. You're all pro teams. I think Sean's dead.
Bitch, I just told you my all pro teams. What are you talking about? I gave you my top 3. That's my all pro teams. Are you fucking high?
Sean is gonna give me a heart attack today. That's his goal. Oh my goodness.
What you mean for LCS?
Oh no. Okay. We're gonna finish up on the LEC because, as you guys know, I have to watch Morbius today, so the show's not gonna be that long. That's why we're just having some fun today.
Right. Well, I haven't given my third old team top laner yet. Because I honestly don't know who the whole fucking shit. But like, oh god, like I can't give it to Hero. I can't give it to fucking Finn. Okay. I can't give it to Alpar. I'll just give it to Wonder.
I give it to Wonder, Broken Blade, or Oda. I was like, I was picking out of the weeds for some of these players. Yeah, honestly,
so we have the same top 3, I guess. Okay.
I'll say this: Syncroft, like I thought he played good. Honestly,
No. The jungler pool, just like to tell you by rankings, like I put Mark Kroon 4th, Syncroft 5th, and Schlaton 6th. I ranked them all above Selfmade and Razork.
Holy shit, Jesus fucking Christ. Well, as you guys know, I'm going to share my screen right here. As you guys know, we are going to be in the next bracket for the LEC 2022 Spring Split Playoffs. And we are going to be at the next round. And yeah, like I said before, I knew Rogue would beat the shit out of Misfits. I got that prediction right. And then Fnatic beat the shit out of G2, 3-1. And then Excel barely lose to fucking Vitality, 3-2. I got some of the game scores predictions right, just not the actual matches, you know? And the match schedule, the first game on Friday is going to be G2 versus Vitality. And then for Saturday, right here, you have Rogue versus Fnatic. So, yeah, those are the only games this week, I think. They should be the only ones. And before we do predictions on those, we're going to go through some of the games. So, yeah, Rogue played up against Vitality in my ass. No, I'm just kidding. Rogue played up against Misfits. And, yeah, Rogue just kind of just beat the shit out of them. There's honestly not much here. But Larson, I think, has been really strong for Rogue this year. And he's been weirdly criticized for just being a mage player when he's picked, you know, carry mid laners like Lucian, and he's actually performed pretty well on them. Even this game, when he got Lucian against Vithio, he played really insanely well, honestly. And even this game, Odawamne played great on Rumble. Like, Rogue just have a really great composition. Comp was on Caitlyn. I like that Caitlyn has come back into the metagame, because if you have Caitlyn and you pair him up with more of a poke comp, like with Lux and with Lucian, if you get your poke comp rolling, a lot of teams that have like more inexperienced players, they literally just won't know what to do. And when Misfits started getting behind against Rogue, and not just this game, and also the other games as well, they just didn't know what to do. They just kind of rolled over. And that just goes to show you the weak mental state of some of these players. Now, they are still new, some of the players actually. You know, here it's only been in the LEC for a year, now almost like a year and a half at this point. You know, Schlaton rookie jungler, Mursa, rookie support. VTO has been in the LEC for a year and a half, but they don't have their veteran players like they did last year, which made them do pretty well toward the end of the year. And then what they team against Rogue, you have Trimby, Larson, Odomwamne. They played together all last year. They had success. And against Misfits, it wasn't going to be any different. I didn't really think Misfits were that good throughout the spring split anyway. I thought a lot of their wins came from a lot of teams throwing. So, this goes to show you that Misfits really weren't that good. A lot of people just don't really know how to understand that there's such volatility when it comes to best of ones. There's just so much volatility when it comes to that, but when you factor in a best of three, yeah, Rogue are just going to beat the shit out of them, just like they did in this game, obviously, and the rest of them. Now, Misfits did come away with the win, but that's going to happen when you have a bad draft in game 3 like they did. So that's going to happen as well. LEC finals will have a live audience. Yeah, I saw that. And that's going to be pretty big because coming up for the LCS 2022 Spring Split Playoffs, we'll actually have audience members back, and playing in front of a crowd, because I've been to the LCS before many times. It's such a great feeling, and the crowd just elevates the experience of wanting to play well. And as you guys knew, in this best of 5, Herit was not having a good time. He was just getting destroyed. Man, the amount of attention that Rogue invested into taking down Herit, as you guys saw throughout all 4 of these games. It makes sense, obviously, to tackle a weak side of the map where Misfits are not going to be strong at. Schlacton and Herit synergy is not that good, so they knew going up there it was just going to be more of a free win to get a point of advantage for Rogue as well. And then you also had Malrong. He was actually on Jarvan, I'm pretty sure, all the games, and he didn't need to show any other jungling pick against Schlacton. He's 10 times better jungler than Schlacton is, and it definitely was shown in this series. Sean, you want to say anything about Rogue versus Misfits? Any takeaways?
Yeah, well, Misfits wasn't playing really the same play style that got them into 3rd place for the first 2 games, and they nice ad, but yeah, and then they didn't really know how to play against them for like the first 2 games. But after those first 2 games, they figured it out more. Just the 4th game, Rogue played better as all, but it could have been a close 5-game series if they just played what got them into 3rd place. I mean, again, Rogue still would have most definitely prevailed, but I just made that prediction to spice things up. But I mean, Herit did play better in this game in the 4th and 3rd, but yeah.
A little bit better. Now, I'll ask you this. Why do you think Xayah has come back into the metagame?
Xayah,
because a lot of people are picking Xayah. Like, I mean, she's still a really strong ADC in general. I don't know why she ever fell off to begin with, honestly.
I think, honestly, I think it's really, how to say, I mean, after some more buffs, I think it's sort of like another Zeri sort of like type ADC, so it's good to like.
Because to me, like, that's just the meta evolving. Because people always ask, like, why do like some of these new picks come out? Because like over time, guys, if you have a meta that consistently just stays relatively the same, other people will start figuring out counters to certain things. That's just how it happens in any game in general.
I just think it's sort of like another a good counter to Zeri, sort of, or it's like another good version of it now that it's like back in the meta, kind of, and it's it's an ADC that you can kind of pair with any support, really, even if Rakan's better with Rakan. The same goes for Rakan. Just both of those are, even though they're like better together, obviously, they're sort of like both an ADC and support. You can kind of pair with anything, unlike others. So that's also a plus, I think. Just
good job, Caps.
It just like Zeri, it has huge pop off material, but if you don't play it super well, then it's gonna look really weak, just like Zeri. It's just sort of like the same ADC champ right now.
And then you had one of the big playoff games of the week right here, G2 versus Fnatic, El Clasico. Fnatic just have had
this
better early
Yone top,
games.
I just thought this was like limit testing throughout the season. I didn't realize that they were actually thought this was actually just an amazing fucking thing to play in the top lane. Like, well, what is wrong with them? Okay.
But to be fair, Broken Blade has played it in the regular season before. It's not like it's a surprising.
I know, but fuck. I just thought they were like limit testing and like finding comps. I didn't realize that they actually thought this was the best way to go.
But this is something that I talked about as well. Even last year, I remember Fnatic has had better early games than G2 ever since last year. Even when G2 and Fnatic faced off against each other in the LEC 2021 Summer Split playoff match, to go to Worlds, to have that Worlds deciding match, Fnatic had better early games in all the games, every single one. The only reason why Fnatic lost the games they did was because they threw their leads and they started making mistakes around how to close out the game. Fnatic in this series also had amazing early games throughout all of them. The only bad game they had was game 2 when Hylissang's brain just like turned off and went like Turbo Nautilus fucking inting. I don't know. He just turned off his brain and it just like shut off. I was like, what the fuck's going on? Did he actually just turn off his brain or some shit? Like, is he actually playing Nautilus? Now, I don't think Wonder played just insanely well this series, but he was just a solid rock in the top lane for them. And that's really all they need. They just need a solid rock in the top lane. I think just have the veteran players on Fnatic dictate where Razork goes. I think Razork, like with Wonder, has been a solid topside duo for Fnatic. Nothing special, nothing insanely great, just a solid topside duo. Humanoid actually played really well this series, I remember last year, Caps still looked better than Humanoid in a lot of their games, but this best of 5, Humanoid really stepped up, like going on the LeBlanc pick, just literally just blowing people up. In this game, I remember him just going to the back line, just assassinating people. Humanoid really popped off. In the regular season, I thought that these other players just had better games than him overall, but when he started rolling, he got rolling hard. Upset, is obviously better than Flackid, and then you also have Hylissang, who's just better than Targamas just by a substantial amount. And Fnatic has had great early games throughout all their games, and just much better objective control, much better team fighting. I mean, they're just the better team overall. Like, you guys know, I like G2, but they're just not good right now. Like, they're gonna have to try to figure out something to get advantages around the map, because Caps is not performing very well. And you also have the added aspect that their bot lane is super inexperienced and they don't really know what to do if they even have a lead in a game in general. And then you have Jankos trying to gank for Broken Blade because Jankos realizes Broken Blade is the only player you can really play through on G2 right now. So you're just going to be in this point of, okay, well, if the other team attacks G2 and they attack the top side, they know they get an instant win because they know there's not going to be the bot side of the map that's going to be really effective. So that was just my thing, with G2 and why they lost the series. Their drafting was not the best. I don't really understand the Yone pick. I mean, unless you're going to get super massively far ahead, they really don't need to pick fucking Yone. I don't really know what was the overall goal of the Yone pick. I just thought it was really fucking useless, honestly. Rebecca says they need to get rid of Caps. That's something that they honestly should think about. Honestly, after this year, if he consistently just plays like this, they should honestly think about just getting a new mid laner. And someone would be like, well, who would you get? I mean, G2 would probably more or less so go for Larson if his contract is up on Rogue at the end of the year. That's just something that I would personally say. But, Caps just really has not been performing very well. And you really just can't be like mad at the bot lane, because I know a lot of people were mad at the bot lane for G2 after the series, but there's nothing they can do. They're super inexperienced compared to Upset and Hylissang, like the best bot lane in EU. And they have also one of the best mid laners in Europe, probably definitely top 3 or top 4 in his role. You also have Wonder, who's been in these big, high-profile playoff situations before, so it's definitely going to pay off a lot more than Broken Blade, So I'll ask you, Sean, what did you think about this series between G2 and Fnatic?
I mean, exactly as I predicted. Honestly, don't have to really say anything. We kind of talked about it at the start of the show, but I just figured, it would kind of be close games, but for the most part, it wouldn't be as close of a series as people thought, just because it's G2 and Fnatic, and it wouldn't make it the 5 games; it would make it the 4. I just, figured they're just not being experienced enough. Fnatic
Mhm.
would take it in the end, and G2, their players will have pop off moments, but they'll just not round out team fights really. Again, I still if G2 is gonna go on a run to like first in the league, I said it before, it'll be through the losers bracket. They were not gonna do it through the winners bracket.
So
They'll
right
start
here,
off they'll start off with like beating Misfits and go from there.
so right here in this team fight, they were actually forcing Fnatic back, and then they started getting too over aggressive in some of these plays. There was one of the plays where they actually worked to get the dragon for themselves. I think it was this play. I think it was. Nope, it wasn't this play. Before, it was the fact that they were actually out team fighting Fnatic, and they had a 4v3 right there, and they get the kill onto Wonder. Wonder going way too aggressive in that play. And they actually get the dragon. And I'm thinking, like, okay, this is something where, they can definitely come back into the game. Because the goal was relatively even in this game 4. Both compositions are pretty well definitely drafted for both teams. Cap's kind of playing well on Orianna, kind of. And then Humanoid is like, well, I'm just going to just blow you up. I'll just chains. Oh, good God. He's going to die. Oh, fuck my ass. Fuck my ass. Good job, Caps. Good job, dude. There you go. Now, if your jungler has to resort to playing fucking Trundle, they're trying to pick easy, simple compositions to run just to get the game going. So, toward the very end of the game, it was right here. They have a team fight. So right here, Flackid tries to, hit Wonder because the ricochet of the gun knocks into Upset. Upset puts the feathers down. Caps gets a little too aggressive. He doesn't land any commands dissonance. Then you also have Caps getting last chunked out. Upset flashes in, kills him, and then this game is over. Razork just runs him down. Razork actually had a pretty good series overall, and yeah, Fnatic take out G2. The second best of 5 in a row that Fnatic gets the better of G2. And it's over. Fnatic are on to face Rogue, and that means that Rogue and Fnatic solidify top 4 in the LEC 2022 spring split as well. And now we are on to the last best of 5 to talk about, because I'll just talk about game 1. It's just mostly, we know what happened. It was just game 1 that was super interesting, though. I have to, commend Excel. Excel put up a great fight. You're definitely thinking throughout the best of 5 that Excel could potentially take it. I was thinking like, hey, after game 1, Excel could definitely do it. So you have this composition of Aurelia, Viego, Lissandra, Jinx, Lulu, Vitaly. You have Gangplank, Lee Sin, LeBlanc, Zaya, and Nautilus. Now, Finn performed exceptionally well on Aurelia. Alfari having a really sour series. Some of the games he played was solid, and then some of the games he played, he was just getting destroyed. And it's my thing with Alfari that a lot of people just don't really see with him, is that he'll get lane leads, or he simply will just get a lane lead, do nothing with it, or he'll call up resources, which just means calling self-made to gank for his lane and not being able to really do anything. It's like, why is he calling for this many resources when he's not going to really effectively do anything? Oh, Lebrov. Good job, man. And there was, oh, Lord, Lebrov, please, mercy on my soul. Fuck my ass. Oh, Lord. Yeah, that guy's still bad. Lebrov is still bad. Lebrov still sucks. But, Perk's getting in his 1-2 comfort zone. This actual outplay was so good from Selfmade. This duel between Finn and Selfmade was actually pretty cool. Now, it just sucks that, Finn used his ultimate before that, because if he actually had been able to access his ult, he would have been able to win that. But that clutch dodge from the Sonic Wave, that was super, super clutch from Finn. Finn put on a show, in this series, and it's also nice to have him back in the LEC. Now, I don't know if this is going to be a one-time thing from Excel, and, now Excel are fully eliminated, from the LEC 2022 Spring Split playoffs. They'll be back in the LEC 2022 Summer Split. And one of the things is you can look at Excel and go, okay, this is how we messed up in these drafts. This is how we messed up playing the game. Because one of the games, it just kind of felt like they could have won it, but they just got too overeager with a lot of their plays. They just tried to force things where they didn't need to. And then there were some games where they played out their lane assignments just fine. They were able to win against their opposition very well. They were able to out-CS their opponents very well. And they were actually able to secure objectives in a timely fashion that wasn't going to put them behind. So you did see a lot of growth in Excel throughout the last weeks of the LEC 2022 Spring Split regular season. You saw a lot of growth from them in this best of 5. And I would have liked to see them get that second chance, but they were in the lower bracket with Team Vitality. They don't get a second life. And yeah, Excel are done. All right, Sean, what are your last parting words on Excel? Because they are done. We will not be seeing them until summer.
Yeah, they shouldn't have even made playoffs. They're lucky that Mad just had the worst mid laner in the league. Otherwise, they would have made it easily over them. They're a fucking hack org that fucked over their support. Yeah, bye. You won't be missed. And why the fuck is Nuke Duck still playing?
Nuke Duck played good. Stop it. Oh my god, Sean. Sean, why can't you give anyone credit in their life ever? Why are you like this? Who touched you?
Well, listen, when I was like 6 years old, I went to like a McDonald's.
Okay. I was being facetious, Sean.
Oh, I thought you actually. Okay, never mind. Sorry.
Holy shit. Oh, God. Well, it's time to predict for the LEC 2022 Spring Split playoffs, round 2, actually. So I don't really have the updated games to where they should be. So I kind of have to do it this way for this time being. You take off the academy and take off LCS for a second. Okay, so yeah, we get 3 games. So the winner of this goes on to face Misfits, and the winner of this goes on to face goes on to the next round, actually. And they face Fnatic. So G2 versus Vitality. G2, you better win. I'm saying 3-2 for G2. I'm saying it right now. I'm putting my stock into G2 to at least make a run to the finals. G2 getting that run to the finals is going to happen. I hope, please. But outside of just a fan of them and voting, I'm pretty sure Rogue is going to win the Spring Split. Come on. Rogue should easily be able to win the Spring Split. Fnatic ain't shit. They're about to get destroyed by Rogue.
Fnatic has more experience still. Actually, do they?
No. They have 3. No, Rogue have Ottawamne, Larson, and Trimby. Upset Hill is saying...
Yeah, well, Trimby doesn't have much experience.
What's that world? What are you talking about?
Well, no. I was just wondering...
No, you're right. Fnatic actually does have more experience.
If they had Hansama more still, then maybe... okay, yeah, forget
it. No, you're right. Fnatic does have more. It's just Razork who's just kind of relatively new. That's it.
Yeah, and he's like the 8th best jungler.
Oh, Lord, fuck. Okay, so G2 win against Vitality 3-2. G2 are going to come back, guys. Believe me. I believe in G2 supremacy.
So I'm going to go, let's say 3-2 Fnatic. And then I'm going to go G2 3-2.
Oh, my goodness.
And then
okay, so we have to hold on for that one because we have to do it 2 different ways. So I'm going G2 against Vitality. I'll say G2 3-2. Fnatic versus Rogue. I'm saying Rogue are gonna beat Fnatic 3-1. Rogue are winning against Fnatic 3-1. So the winner of this faces Misfits. So we're gonna have to predict it both ways. So let's say
I think G2 is gonna be there, and I think they're gonna win 3-1.
Okay, if G2 beat Vitality and they face Misfits, I say G2 win 3-1. If Vitality beats G2 and Vitality faces Misfits, I'll say Vitality win 3-2. So Sean, if Vitality faces Misfits instead of G2, who would you pick?
Then I'll pick I mean that will be an exciting series because we've seen Vitality.
Oh, Vitality
We've seen
series.
both
Holy shit.
Vitality and G2 like face misfits throughout the season in both their games. That was just so crazy. I'll say Misfits 3-2 if they face Vitality. I feel like Vitality has more of a chance here, but I'll just go
Yeah,
Misfits
I just think Misfits are a piece of shit. So I'm
yeah,
not picking them at
I
any
mean,
point.
I just don't think they have the clutch factor, and Vitality and G2 do. But I'll just say Misfits 3-2
Mhm.
instead if they were to face Vitality. Even though I should say Vitality 3-2, but anyway, then yeah, G2 3-1 if they face them.
All right, so guys, just running it down because it's gonna be a little bit more different this time around. G2 versus Vitality. I'm saying G2 win 3-2. Rogue versus Fnatic 3-1 for Rogue. Then if G2 end up facing Misfits, G2 beat Misfits 3-1, and if Vitality end up facing Misfits 3-2 for Vitality. All right, so that's that. That's for the LEC because after that it's gonna be finals after that. So that's where you're locking up actually. And if Misfits lose this time around, they're done. So, oh, and also for the finals, for the LEC, they'll actually have fans. They said a limited number of fans. So, best of 5 in front of a crowd, Fnatic will stomp. Them was fighting words. Them was fighting words. You mean in front of a crowd, G2's gonna stomp. That's what's gonna happen. Holy shit. Vitality 3-0, Fnatic 3-1. Oh my goodness. Oh my lord. Oh my lord. This lady's crazy. Watch G2 just beat the shit out of these guys. Holy shit. Give me a second, guys. So we're going to be talking about the LCS. Just give me a moment. And yeah, we are done with the LEC. Sorry, I had to make things a little bit more faster today because you guys are going to be here for also LCS as well. Let's go to the LCS. So for the LCS, the 2022 Spring Split regular season is over, and I will be giving you guys my all-pro teams right now. So here we go. Give me a second. Spring season standings right here. Okay, so I have to kind of like space the time right now because I got like 30-ish minutes to really get all of this done. We're just gonna give you guys a good show. So let's start off like this. I'll give you guys the rundown of the standings of the teams, and then we'll talk about that just for a little bit. Then I'll go for the all-pro teams. Then we'll do our predictions. All right. So who win the LCS spring? Oh God. I don't know. I would love Cloud9 to win, honestly, but they're looking kind of like shit at the moment. Oh, just a little bit. A little bit like shit. All right, so Immortals, they're done. Immortals are finished. They just looked really bad. All out of sorts. They were a team that just looked like shit with veteran players. They try to swap up the bot lanes.
It was all name value. I told you they were a 9th place team.
I didn't think it would be this bad, dude. That was horrible to watch them play.
The only player who was actually good was Power of Evil. Despite the shit he was given, he still looked good. Like, he was still dominant in lane against players like Fudge, so.
Well, guys, Immortals are finished. They tried to switch up their bot lanes with Wild Turtle and Joey, Arrow and Destiny. They just couldn't do anything. Like, their players just... The veteran players that they did bank on, they just weren't as good as they thought they were. Arrow came in and played well for a little bit, but I never thought Arrow was as good as everyone made him out to be. I was like, he's all right. But compared to Wild Turtle, I mean, I'll take it, you know? So that's pretty much it with Immortals. TSM, they actually looked better toward the final weeks. I'll say that. They actually went, 2-1 in the Super Week overall? That was pretty interesting out of them.
One of them was against CLG.
Yeah.
And the other one, what was it, Cloud9 they beat, or was it last week? Who did they beat again? It was
TSM beat Cloud9 the previous week.
Yeah, but who was it this week that they beat? Which good team?
They lost to 100 Thieves and Team Liquid. They almost beat Team Liquid, though. That was...
Oh, right. They lost both of those. Okay, I see.
Because they won against CLG. So they lost against the two top teams, and they lost against a team around their... And they beat a team around their level. But, yeah, guys, TSM, they just had a lot of problems this LCS 2022 Spring Split. You know, coaching changes... coaches, borrowing money and not paying it back. And there's so much I could cover right now, but there's not a whole lot of time. But just as you guys know this, TSM had a really bad LCS 2022 spring split, coaching changes, player changes, lots of behind the scenes drama, just lots of issues in game and out of game, just a whole bunch of problems, So going into the LCS 2022 summer split, I hope they make roster changes. Actually, I hope that could be something they could work on doing. Like, we'll spend many more shows talking about TSM, but as of right now, they are just a bad team, And this is also the first time ever in TSM's history that they will not be making playoffs. They had an 18 split run to playoffs, actually. So that goes to show you how bad this TSM roster is. The very first split, they don't have Bjergsen. They don't make playoffs. They've made playoffs every single year they've been inside of the LCS since 2013. The LCS 2022 spring split marks when TSM doesn't make playoffs. That's crazy. They even made playoffs with Power of Evil last year, albeit he had much better players to work with. But this year, TSM just really couldn't get it together. They had a lot of issues behind the scenes. Also the management was horrible. The gameplay was really bad. They kept switching out players. They all end on this LDL experiment, like Cloud9 all end on this Korean experiment, and it just really didn't work out, actually. CLG, I think there was too much pressure on CLG to perform. I knew going in they really weren't going to be that good. And what's crazy? For the past 4 splits, that's crazy. In the LCS, the past 4 splits, CLG has finished 9th to 10th place. Hey, Sean, guess what? This split they finished 8th.
As I predicted, I fucking told you.
Good job,
what an
CLG.
Improvement.
Moving up in the world.
Fuck yes. So happy for you. I know this whole fucking team was just Luger and that's it.
Oh God. They got 8th place,
guys.
guys.
Cardshocks wasn't that at the first half of the season he was fucking god awful. In the second half, he was actually alright, but he's still the last place jungler in comparison to the rest because the jungler pool is just that stacked.
God, CLG, I don't know, there was all these random CLG stands out there. They'll do so much better. You ask them why? Because they have contracts. It's get the fuck out of here. What the fuck? CLG, hey, you're moving up in the world. That's good enough. You're moving up in the world. Dignitas, please, for the love of God, I mean, God is a pundit, as I'm going to say. Dignitas, for the love of all that is holy and is heaven and fucking, I'll take off my fucking clothes again. Please get rid of Fate God. He is such a detriment.
If only you had an import slot to use on a top laner.
God.
If only, huh? No, I'm sure Blue totally is just way better than just any fucking NA mid laner fucking
Hey, man.
Like Insanity or Fire that you could just get.
I don't think it was Blue's fault. They did as bad as they did. Dude, top lane was just a gap.
Given the circumstance, he surprisingly wasn't bad. The split, he was okay, but still, there's fucking. They could find 10 other NA resident mid.
No, dude, they need to get a top laner. The fact that he's getting obliterated as much as Yu-Gi-Oh, right? Zodia obliterate. Fake God is getting obliterated. That's how bad he's getting Exodia'd out here. It's horrible. The fact that literally Revenge, Jenkins, Huni. Okay, Huni's actually better. But Revenge, Jenkins are playing this much better than him. It's ridiculous. Dignitas, if you want to even sniff getting at least to 4th place in a split, in playoffs, not regular season.
Yeah, because surprisingly, the rest of the team did well. I mean, Neo did well.
I thought
Biofrost did well.
Neo actually played well.
Blue,
Biofrost played well.
Blue, like, isn't up there for mid laners. He's like 8th, but he wasn't bad. Like, he did his job. And then River, again, he's like 8 for junglers, but that's just because the jungler pool in NA, and usually the same with ADCs, is just that strong right now.
Mhm.
Like, with people like Xerxes at the bottom. So it's not a bad thing to say you're 8, but as long as you're not bottom 2. Then...
River, a lot of people were giving River flack. I thought River actually played well given his circumstance. There's nothing River can do covering for Fate God, who is worse than probably every single academy fucking top laner that's out there. Like, Dignitas, if you want to even sniff going into playoffs consistently, having a deep run in playoffs, you need to get a better top laner. This level of top lane play from Fake God is just unacceptable. I'm sorry. You need to just get another top laner. I'm sorry. He's just awful. It's so bad. It's like just agony watching this guy play. There's nothing else more that I could really explain. Just the super hardcore agony of watching this guy play top lane is horrible. Golden Guardians, they made it in. So yeah, Dignitas, CLG, TSM Immortals, we will not be seeing them until the LCS 2022 summer split. So I hope these teams potentially make roster changes to do a whole lot better for the next split. All right, so now we have our playoff teams. We have Team Liquid, Cloud9, 100 Thieves, Evil Geniuses, FlyQuest, and Golden Guardians. Those are our playoff teams right there. Golden Guardians manages to come out clutch. They managed to clutch out a few wins, to get their spot into playoffs through a couple of tiebreaker games. FlyQuest also managed to, get a really nice win against Cloud9 toward the very end, and they managed to, get into playoffs as well. I think Takuli and Ablaze Olive looked pretty good overall, because Takuli was talked about as one of the worst imports to pick up. I thought he played really well, given his circumstances, given his team.
Wait, they were saying that?
Yeah, I thought Takuli would be fucking bottom 3.
Are they fucking high?
These were my words, at least,
What? He was fucking killing it in the fucking... What are they smoke? Did they actually watch him play?
I'm pretty sure they didn't. I think they just said shit. This is the thing. Remember how I told you before?
Yeah, they just were like, an EU minor league? Oh. Yeah, it's like, but let's get a fucking NA mid laner from an amateur league here. Good job. Yeah, I'm sure that'll be better.
Fujin, Kumo at least wins some laning phases. At least Kumo has something good about him you can kind of play around. You can't play around Fake God at all. Fake God is just trash. At least with Kumo, I could understand why a team would go for him, because he actually has shown that he can at least carry some games given the resources and given the chance. I just don't think Fake God should be in the league anymore. I'm sorry. He's just too bad, Golden Guardians and FlyQuest managed to sneak into playoffs. FlyQuest, like I said before, getting that clutch win against Cloud9. They beat Golden Guardians. They end up, EG managed to get into playoffs as well. EG also were struggling pretty hard, and I really don't know what's the issue with Evil Geniuses. Like, Evil Geniuses are a generous 4th place, but I think Evil Geniuses really aren't as good, I think what makes them good is their name value players, which a lot of people tend to give a whole lot more credit to. But in the actual game, their lane assignments, their macro, their team decisions, a lot of their drafting phases. I think their drafting phases is fine, but it's just how they play the game is just really, really off. Like, they just are really bent into their bot lane with Danny and Vulcan. And I think Danny and Vulcan are actually a pretty solid bot lane overall, but I think that their laning phase has been really suspect throughout the entire LCS 2022 spring split. I think their laning phase has been quite suspect, but if you get Danny into team fighting, he looks pretty solid, right? Inspired, like, this is the thing with Inspired is you can kind of understand why Rogue got rid of him, because it feels like Inspired is trying to be a mega carry jungler without trying to see, like, okay, how can I be the best team player? And I think that's Inspired's biggest issue. I think he's a great jungler. I think Inspired is good. And I think he is a player who's had some really suspect games throughout the split that a lot of people just really have just glanced over because they are remembering his MVP from the LEC 2021 summer split. Sean, I'll ask you, do you think EG are the fourth best team? Or is this like some placeholder team right here?
I mean, they obviously have the ceiling to be the fourth best. They haven't really reached that. I would say. Oh, this is confusing. I say they are actually. I just think as long as they're like on the right track, then I think. But they usually haven't been. But if they are, then yeah, they'll prevail and with their skill as they did to make it into fourth place with those tiebreakers. Because yeah, I do think that FlyQuest and Golden Guardians are good as well, but they're where they should be in fifth and sixth. That's where they should be. I don't see them how it'd be any better than that right now, but yeah.
All right, and we have 100 Thieves. 100 Thieves were actually on a mega win streak toward the very end of the LCS 2022 spring split. They started off the split with a lot of issues, just a lot of very hard drafts to play through. Like a lot of their laning phases were really questionable. A lot of their drafts were super questionable. They just looked like they were just struggling to get through the game as a team. Like you could tell they have the player strength just to get at least top 3 or maybe even top 2 for the LCS. But it just looked like they were just either in a slump, they didn't know how to improve. But toward the later end of the LCS 2022 spring split, 100 Thieves ended up actually doing very well. They defeated Cloud9 and they defeated a lot of teams in that way. And then they lost to Dignitas. Dignitas has had 100 Thieves' number for some fucking reason. Sean, please tell me, why has Dignitas had 100 Thieves' number throughout the whole year so far? Lock-in, they've had it. They've had it in the spring split. Dignitas just beats 100 Thieves, I don't know. What the fuck is this?
I don't know how to explain it. It's like they just underestimate them all the time, I think. They really do. I think that's
this is the thing. Like, 100 Thieves should not be dropping this many games to fucking Dignitas. That's ridiculous. They lost to them in the lock-in, and they lost to them both times in the LCS 2022 spring split. That is fucking crazy right there. So, 100 Thieves, I think going into the LCS 2022 spring split playoffs, I think 100 Thieves are going to be a pretty strong team. They do face off against Cloud9 in the first round, so I'm pretty scared for Cloud9. There's a good chance they could actually lose that best of 5. It's a very real possibility of that happening. I think Someday has looked good. I think Closer has looked good. I think FBI has looked good throughout most of the spring split, actually. He started to come back more into form. Abadaga started to come back more into form. Once 100 Thieves started coming back more into form, things start to look a whole lot better for them. And that's the reason why they ended up getting third place. I think if they had this form that they currently have now at the beginning of the LCS 2022 spring split, they would look a lot better in the standings, and they might have actually, got second place over Cloud9. Now, my boys, my babies, Cloud9, they did not look good these last 2 weeks for the LCS 2022 spring split. Summit in particular had looked super off in some of his last games overall. He beat Fate God pretty handily. Now, I'll say this, he didn't look bad against Someday himself, but Cloud9 just, I don't really know what really happened with them. Honestly, I really don't know. A lot of what made them strong was them moving around the map, making aggressive plays, Summit being an absolute dominant top laner, just completely clapping everybody. Fudge being a pretty stable mid laner, nothing really substantially great, but a pretty stable mid laner overall. Then Berserker and Winsome were a pretty good bot lane, not the best, but a pretty good bot lane. Then you also had Blabber, who was a he had a good split. Blabber had a good split overall. He had a few bad games to start off, but Blabber had a pretty good way of understanding, okay, this is what the team needs right now. Which lane do I play through? So they had a big advantage in Summit. Fudge was okay in as his first split as a mid laner. I still think moving forward after this year, they need to just get an actual mid laner that's just better than him. Because I think he's just going to be a liability very, very heavily internationally if they go to MSI or if they go to Worlds later on this year. I think he's just going to be a big liability overall. I think Cloud9's drafts weren't that good, overall throughout these past weeks. The fact that they dropped again to TSM, the fact they dropped again to FlyQuest, and they went, 1-3 in their last games, actually. If you go back and look at a lot of Cloud9's final games, they dropped 1 to TSM. They also, so like, okay, they have 2-5. In their last 5 games, they won 2 of their last 5 games. So, they've been doing pretty bad toward the later end of the LCS 2022. Sorry, they've been doing pretty bad toward the latter end of the LCS 2022 spring split. Sean, what are your parting thoughts on Cloud9 and why they started to actually not do as good?
I don't know. Just this. How do I fucking say? I think there's just a lack of, and they've been missing it for like the last 3 years, I think, or even 4. I think there's just a lack of like leadership and shot calling that needs to be more on like Cloud9 with their teams they've been building. I think that's been costing them over the years a lot. And I think this week was, they were fucking doing terrible in scrims. They literally went like 0-20, so that probably played a factor. So we'll see if they'll improve on that. But I'm just I don't see them beating 100 Thieves at this point.
I really don't. Honestly, I was gonna pick 100 Thieves to beat them. Honestly, because they looked bad. 3. Like, guys, you know me. I love Cloud9. I really do. But they looked bad. They literally won 2 out of their last 5 games they had. 2. They beat CLG and they beat Dignitas. They lost to 100 Thieves. They lost to FlyQuest and they lost to TSM. These should have been some guaranteed wins from them. They were literally competing for first place throughout most of the split. And then toward these past 2 weeks, they started, playing down their competition for some reason. They started simply just making terrible mistakes around the map, either disrespecting their opponents. This is the worst time for Cloud9 to be going through a slump, because a lot of teams go through slumps. This is just the worst time to be going through a slump right now. I'm just saying that completely outright. This is the worst time to be going through a slump going into playoffs overall. I think that Cloud9 should just get a better mid laner. I don't think Fudge is it, honestly. I like Fudge. I do. I think he's a solid mid laner if you need just basic shit done.
Yeah, but who else can they get?
They can get a Blaze Olive.
Listen, I'm sorry. I don't think Jensen would be an answer. I think at this point, I think I wouldn't say Jensen.
They should promote Copy. Why not play that guy?
Copy isn't that good.
He's an actual mid laner. That's a step up in the right direction.
What do you mean? If
I'm just saying.
Played better than him. If Copy was playing better, he would have been playing.
That's true. So that's my thing with Cloud9, guys. I just don't think they really improved in these past 2 weeks, and they were honestly doing very well. They were. I'm not taking that away from them. They were playing well, but there's just a lack of leadership within the game for them. And you could see their drafting phase got worse. They just started playing bad. Like, I don't know if they started playing down to their competition or they simply just started taking a more relaxed approach when they got to playoffs, or they knew they already secured playoffs. I don't know, honestly. So Cloud9 finished second place. I mean, they still finished second. That's not too bad, honestly, but comparatively to how they were scaling throughout the split, it just looks bittersweet for them. All right, and I gotta head out in the next 4 minutes, honestly. So Team Liquid finishes the LCS 2022 Spring Split in first place. They have looked not so clean themselves, but they were experimenting. I think Bwipo is the third best top laner in the league. He has these moments where he just overextends and just does a little too much. But if he can figure out how to control that and go in when it's absolutely 100% necessary, I think it'll be better for Team Liquid. Santorin, I think Santorin's had one of the best splits he's ever had in the LCS. And it's sad he won't be in the MVP conversation because I think he is a MVP caliber player, specifically this split. As you guys know, I've had my issues with Santorin's playstyle over these many years, but this split, the LCS 2022 Spring Split, he's looked pretty darn good. Bjergsen, dude, how do I say this about Bjergsen? Bjergsen is probably the best mid laner by default because all these other guys are just not good. The best mid laners are like Bjergsen, Takuli, Blaze Olive, and fucking Fudge. And I'll probably throw Jojo Pion in that as well because Abadage did not look good. Who else did they have? Who's on fucking... Yeah, Blue did not look that good. Pia, we didn't look that good. Kiedo, Takeover, meh. CLG had Palafox, just meh overall. You know what I mean? So, Team Liquid having Bjergsen, but Bjergsen's doing a good job of being a role player. This is kind of the first time Bjergsen is able to be a role player rather than just carry the team on his back. So that's something that's good for him because it relieves a whole lot of pressure off of him. Then you have the bot lane, Core JJ and Hansama, best bot lane in the league. I think FBI and Huhi could contend for best bot lane in the league, but it just depends on, which matchups they're going to be on, So, yeah, Team Liquid finishing first place in the LCS 2022 Spring Split, 14-4. I mean, most people kind of already predicted that, but Cloud9 definitely could have made it more interesting if they had actually played as consistently as they did in the LCS 2022 Spring Split. So, yeah, we're going to go through our predictions really quickly because I got to head out. I got to go watch Morbius. So, yeah, let's go to playoffs. And, yeah, it is bittersweet if you're a Cloud9 fan, but I hope they can, get it together in playoffs because now we begin our LCS 2022 Spring Split playoffs. We'll do our LCS 2022 Spring Split All-Pro teams, MIP and MVP next week because the playoffs start this week anyway, so it'll be in tandem with, going over the first round of playoffs anyway. So, yeah, the first set of games are going to be between Cloud9 versus 100 Thieves, starting out with a banger. Usually Cloud9 defeats 100 Thieves in their first outings in playoffs, usually, but I think this time around 100 Thieves actually has the edge, and the last time they faced 100 Thieves definitely convincingly destroyed them. Team Liquid versus EG, I think that's going to be a wash. So that's also a rematch of the LCS 2022 lock-in tournament, TL versus EG. So I'm going to say 100 Thieves beats Cloud9 3-2. I think it might be a bit closer, but I think 100 Thieves right now are just playing better than Cloud9. I don't want to say it.
You know what? I was going to say 3-2, but you know what? 3-0, 100 Thieves.
Good God. And then, yeah, I'm going to say Team Liquid beat EG 3-0. I don't think EG are good at all, honestly. I think they have too many issues.
I think it'll be 3-1. I think it's going to be like Griffin versus T1, where the first time around they get 3-0, and then they win one game. So there we go. And then...
That's it. Because we have next week. That's it.
Yeah, okay.
Isn't it? Yeah, because February... Yeah, it'll be April 9th. Yeah, April 9th is the... Yeah, so we only have... Yeah, I mean, these are a decent set of games overall. C9 versus 100 Thieves. 100 Thieves 3-2. TL 3-0 EG. And that's it, guys. Hopefully you guys had a great, awesome day. Next week, it'll probably have to be a little bit more of the same because I'm watching Sonic the Hedgehog 2 opening Thursday night.
Oh, I'm going to bootleg that as well because I'm watching that in theater. I'll bootleg again.
I don't bootleg like films in shitty quality ever, unless like this is a rare example because MSK wants me to do these reviews, but I don't want to pay for these films. So this is the only time.
Disgusting.
No, if a film would at least look like a 4 out of 10 quality, then I'll fucking go see it. If it looks like a 2,
no, he's gonna do that for shitty A24 movies that have fucking $200 budgets.
If it looks like a 2 to 1 out of 10 quality film like Morbius, like The Lost City, like Venom, like
Venom, quality movies. What are you talking about?
Like Sonic, like the 355, then I'll fucking do that.
The 355. These are great movies. What are you talking about?
All right, please, yes, go support your theaters. Support them with stuff like X and Everything Everywhere All at Once, not fucking Morbius.
Morbius is gonna be a masterpiece. What? I'm gonna come back and give it an A just because it's that good.
Any person who's seen that film in theaters who's actually paying for IMAX tickets for the shit that you saw in that trailer, thinking, yeah, that's worthy of IMAX. Listen, you are officially a failure.
All right, guys, heading out. See you guys later. Cloud9 podcast next week, 3 p.m. PST, Sean. Yeah, fucking piece of shit.
Fuck you.
All right, guys. Peace.